Hi, I'm James with the 1 Hour Smart Home, and today we are going to compare the Nest security system to the Ring security system. Both of these are great security systems, and I've tested out both. I've had both of them installed in my house for a little while, and I just want to tell you the difference between these two so that you can make your decision on which one works for you. To get started, both of them are pretty similar cost. By the time you get accessories and everything like that, you're looking somewhere in like the $200 price range, maybe a little bit more for the Nest by the time you get a couple of sensors. So this one is more expensive in terms of the initial setup, but they're fairly close. Now, the biggest difference between these two in cost and something you got to figure out when you are purchasing one of these is the long-term cost of how much an alarm system or security system is going to cost. So for the Ring, if you want professional monitoring, it is $10 a month, but you don't have to get professional monitoring, and you don't have to get professional monitoring for the Nest either. They both actually work pretty good without professional monitoring. They will still alarm and make a ton of noise, but they will not call first responders unless you have the professional monitoring, which when the alarm is triggered, it will call an alarm monitoring center. That alarm monitoring center will then call you to make sure that everything's okay. And unless they get a confirmation that you're okay, they will then dispatch the authorities in your local jurisdiction to come check out and see what's going on with an alarm system. So the Nest is somewhere in the $20 to $35 range for the monthly cost. It depends on what kind of contract you get into and all that stuff. There's people that have deals on these things and the monthly subscription. If you buy a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, or just month to month, it changes what the price is. What I do like about Ring is it's $10 a month, and you can just pay monthly on your credit card. So for a lot of people, that's really appealing. Just you don't have to get into a contract or anything, and you can do that with this, but it's a little bit more expensive for the Nest. So I do like the fact that you can just $10 on and off, have a recurring credit card payment, boom, you are protected with an alarm system. And you might think, well, am I getting less for $10 a month? No, you are not. You're getting the exact same thing in terms of a professional alarm monitoring center. I don't know how it's so cheap. I think they just want to get a lot of people to have these devices out there. So another thing that you need to consider is the sensor cost and sensor accessibility and all that stuff. So this is the Nest sensor, and it is a little bit more feature-packed than a Ring sensor, okay? And there's actually a couple different types of Ring sensor, but each Nest sensor has a open-close sensor on it that you would use for a door or window, and it also has motion built in. So that's nice that it's a dual-purpose sensor, but there is a couple drawbacks to that, which we're going to get into. The Ring, you can purchase either individual window door sensors, like this one right here, or motion sensors. So you can purchase either, and these range somewhere 50 to 75 bucks, and these are somewhere in that $30 range, $20 or $30, or $20 to $40 for each one of these, or you can get them in a 2-pack and stuff like that on Amazon, which I do like that you can get extra sensors on Amazon. It's just easy, so that's something to check out. We'll have links to all this stuff below so that you can check it out, see what you want. That does help this channel, so appreciate that. The reason that I do like these separate sensors more than the combined sensor, it's a little nuanced in how you use your alarm system. So both of these alarm systems have basically a disarmed mode where nothing's going to happen. They have an armed mode or home mode, which is when you're home, all of the window and door sensors are armed. So that's what you would use at night. And then they have an away mode, which is all the window and door sensors are armed, as well as the motion sensors are armed on these. So if you were to have this on your bedroom window or whatever, and you were to have this in away mode and you got up for the night, you would set off your alarm system because in away mode, the motion detection is on, which I don't really like that feature. With these, you could set your motion detectors in places that people wouldn't be walking at night, like maybe a garage or right at your front door. You could already have one of these, or you've got a basement back door. You could protect that with the motion sensor in away mode. And as long as you don't put sensors in places where people are going to be walking around, you're not going to trip it, even if you have an away mode, which is higher security. Now you can disable the motion detecting sensors and all that stuff, but you've already paid for this more expensive sensor rather than two separate sensors that really serve different functions. So that is kind of one nuance of these. The other reason that I do like the Ring a little bit more than Nest, and don't get me wrong, the Nest is a competent, capable alarm system, it's a good security system. It will work with all your other Nest products and all that kind of stuff. It's just that I think for the price point, the Ring is a little bit better value and you get a little bit more customization with this than what the Nest is. Now, if you've already got a whole bunch of Nest devices, maybe you want to keep everything just on one app. You can do that with a Nest. You could have Nest security system, Nest cameras, Nest thermostat, Nest smoke detectors, boom, they all work together. However, the Nest smoke detectors will not alert the authorities currently in 2019 if there's a fire detected on your Nest Secure, but you can have certain smoke detectors as well as sensors that will work with this, that if you have your alarm system, it will alert the alarm monitoring station. So that's just something to know with the Ring. One difference there in terms of smoke detection and fire detection. The other reason I do like the Ring a little bit more than the Nest is this guy, right? So you can arm both of these security systems from your phone, which is what a lot of people do. Or you can arm them from the keypad. So this is the keypad here for the Nest. You can see that thing, it's a base station, it requires to be plugged in. The Ring, how it works is you have a base station that can be plugged in anywhere. So you can like plug in the base station in a closet, a utility room, somewhere out of the way, whatever you want to do, you plug in the base station. There's nothing you have to do with it other than it has a speaker in it that will alarm when it goes off. But it plugs in, you can put it out of the way. You could like even put it in a closet, whatever. And then you arm and disarm this with the keypad, which is more like a traditional keypad that a lot of people are used to if you've got an existing security system. But what I like about this is that this is completely wireless. It is battery powered. It's got a little charging port on the back here, and you just have to charge it up, I don't know, like every 6 months to a year. I've had this for more than 6 months, and I don't think I've ever charged it. It'll tell you when the batteries get low. But what I like about this is then you can place it anywhere. When we first got this security system, we weren't really sure where we wanted to place this keypad, so we didn't place it anywhere. And then we kind of like moved it around until we figured out where we like to have it. And that was really nice to have. So now we've ended up putting this near our stairs, and it's easy then to disarm and arm it right there. The other nice thing is you can get multiple keypads. With this, you currently can't get multiple keypads. So for us, we have a couple of these keypads, and you can have them, like you could have one in your garage, and you could have one like in your master bedroom, so you could arm this before you go to sleep every night. You can also arm this using Alexa, and with the Nest, you can arm it using Google Home with voice commands. You could say, okay, Google, arm Nest security system, it'll do that. And for Alexa, you can say Alexa, arm Ring, and it will do that. So that is a nice feature of both these. You can arm them with your voice, but I do find that we just use this most of the time because if somebody's sleeping, you don't want to like necessarily yell that out in the middle of the night. So it's super easy, just press the keys and arm it. So I do like the fact that you can have multiple keypads. You can place this anywhere. You could literally even just set it somewhere like on a desk or on a nightstand or in a nightstand drawer, and like that's your keypad. You don't even have to have it out. So I really like that feature. I think it's a super nice thought out feature. Now, so these have, so the Nest, in terms of sensors, you get a motion combo, motion detector, open door sensor, right? That's what you get with this one. And there is a built-in motion sensor in the base station. With the Ring, you get in just like an initial package, you get door, window sensor, you get a motion sensor, but there's a whole bunch of other sensors that can make this have even more features. And we've done some videos on those, but there is a smoke detector that works with the Ring security system. There is a water detector and freeze detector, which I actually, over the past winter, I had installed in my house, and it did notify me that my pipes were about to freeze. So that was really good. We've got one sink that's near an exterior wall, and it got down to like negative, I don't know, 15 or 20. And the sensor notified me that it was like under 40 degrees or whatever it was in that cabinet space. So I actually went to go check it out, and sure enough, it was really cold in there. So that is a nice feature that I really liked on the Ring, that extra flood freeze sensor. So it'll tell you if it's going to flood or if it's going to freeze. So like you could put one of those in your basement as well. If your sump pump goes out, you could be alerted before you have 3 feet of water in there. So I did like that feature. I said smoke detector works with them. And then there's also a sensor that allows you to place it next to your existing smoke detectors, and it will listen for the sound of a smoke detector, and then if it hears that, it will report it to the base station and trigger the alarm for the system. So I do like that feature. There's a few more sensors that will work with this, as well as I believe you can have, there's some Ring outdoor lights that have motion sensors built into them, and you can use those kind of as a comprehensive security system with the Ring alarm system. So I do really like that. In terms of the apps, they're both good apps. You know, it's like on the features that you're going to use are like arm the system, disarm the system, and away mode or home mode for arming it. So there's not like a ton to be said about the apps. They're both good apps. The other nice thing is if you do go with the professional monitoring plan for this, you get free video recording for all of your Ring cameras. So like if you're buying into a Ring system and you want to add some cameras or like the Ring doorbell, that $10 a month you're paying for the professional monitoring system, the alarm monitoring system, that will also cover saving your video footage for 30 days for an unlimited amount of Ring cameras. So you could have like 3 or 4 Ring cameras and it's going to cover that video footage. You say like, well, why do you have 3 or 4 cameras? Well, you could have a smart doorbell, you could have video camera like in your backyard, like a Ring floodlight. And then what's really popular these days is people are putting like 1 or 2 cameras inside for if you've got a babysitter, contractors, nanny, dog walker, whatever, just to kind of like keep people honest and check in, see what's going on. Just gives people a lot of peace of mind. For this, like I said, you're somewhere in that like $20 to $35 price range for the professional monitoring. And if you've got extra cameras and Nest cams, you do got to pay extra for the recording and saving that video footage. So that's kind of like the rundown between these two security systems. I currently have the Ring in my house and I love it, and I don't think I'm gonna change it because it works really well. I like the feature of I can choose which sensor I want, and I can still be in away mode and have these in places that I know I'm not gonna set them off, but that would alert me if someone tripped the motion, like in a garage. I really like that. I think that's a nice feature. Or you might have it in a basement. Let's say you've got one of those like sliding doors or some windows and stuff. Yeah, you could put one of these, but maybe you want to be alerted if you know, somebody's right up at the door, but they haven't tried to jostle the door yet. You could do that with one of these because it would detect someone right outside with the motion detection if you had it like right up next to the door. So that's kind of a neat feature, something that you could use it for. And just really, I think, smart how they did the modularity of the sensors. Overall, both good products. Like I said, I've got this one at home. Hopefully this helps you make up your decision on which one that you're going to choose. You really can't go wrong with either. The only thing I ask you to consider before you decide which one that you really want is look at the monthly cost, the professional monitoring, if you're going to do that, which one is right for you, and the long-term cost of that. Because if you want the professional monitoring, you have to understand that you're going to pay for that year over year over year, and it can add up over 5 or 6 years. It's a pretty big chunk of change. So thank you. Please like, subscribe to this video. We will see you next time. Check us out at onehoursmarthome.com. We've got all kinds of articles, tips, reviews, all that kind of stuff on smart home technology for you. And as always, we appreciate the people that come here to watch this video. You can support us by clicking on any links below. Thank you.